There we go.
Oh, okay. That might work. Yes, that might work.
All right. Hey, guys.
Yes, that might work.
Yeah. You guys see us now?
All
right, hey, guys.
Yep, there it is. Yep. We're on there now.
It'll be delayed probably for a minute too, Randy. It does that sometimes. Okay. Now they can. Okay.
Cool.
Yep. Nick says, boom. Okay. So we almost didn't even make it tonight, guys. I woke up and I had I thought I had the flu or something. I had chills and I was achy, and you just know how you get, the flu.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, oh man. And I messaged Randy and I told him, wait, no, he had messaged me, I think.
No, you wrote, I think you wrote something if you wanted to go on last night or today. I didn't get your message until this morning, so.
Yeah. Well, we were supposed to go do it tomorrow, but then it turns out my grandkids, my son has to work this weekend, so I will have them. So I'm
cool.
Hopefully we can do it tomorrow, which is tonight. But then I woke up not feeling good. Hi, Lake. Hi, Otto. Missed you, Otto. And Radar. That's okay. I laid back down and took a nap because, I just woke up. I was freezing and had the chills, and I was like, oh, no. And I took a couple Tylenol, and then I felt better, but still a little weak. I just laid around all day, and I finally told Randy, I said, we're going to go ahead and do it. I'm just going to wing it. But I feel better, I think. I don't know. It's been nice. And then today, I woke up and it was freezing in our house. I didn't know the weather was supposed to be like this today.
Well, I know that one day it was windy, nice and warm. Then, of course, that following night, you got to start raining and wind kicking in. And, of course, the rain system kept going around in circles, kind of like come back around. So this is the back end of the came through yesterday.
Yeah. Hi, Polly. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be nice in the high 60s, and the next day almost 80.
Yeah.
I made me some coffee and my Keurig, and I got it too full.
Yeah, class tonight, huh? Oh, cool.
And it's hot.
Oh, good.
So let's see. We've only got 8 here. I'm going to wait and see if we're still missing a few people. See if any more shows up. Sure, they're going to, because
I hope so.
They wanted to.
I don't know.
Some people were excited. I kept it. They knew you were coming on, but I kept it a secret about what it was going to be about.
Okay, cool.
I know Radar is sleuthing today, so let me try to message her again.
Cool.
I know I type slow.
Yeah.
Oh, 10 may not show up. She had she went to the chiropractor today and her pain management.
Yeah, she said that she had those appointments today on my video earlier.
She may be in bed. I like to wait though, because then.
Hey, Lake Michigan, how you doing? Hey, Polly, how's everyone doing?
Let me. I know Jess messaged me. She wanted to know what time we were coming on. Oh, hi, Ohio, yeah.
Go ahead if you want to. It's up
to Jess.
Hey, Jess, how you doing? It doesn't matter to me, crime sleuth, you can do it.
Yeah, that's fine, crime. Oh, I meant to put some in there, Randy, for you, and I plumb forgot. I was laying there today thinking about that.
All right.
Yeah, none of us have got our stimulus yet either, so I don't know.
Well, they're coming in through starting the 29th. I know I checked mine, it came in on the 29th. I know probably it's just last 3 days, probably it's taking it slow. So I know people around here are asking about when they're going to get it.
Well, I guess we can go ahead and start.
Okay.
I meant to look on Jerry's page today for anything new, but one thing, I don't know if you guys any of you went into my group, but I posted some information. I did not know if you guys knew about it. Paul Holes and Billy Jennings from the Murder Squad, they have a good podcast. And by the way, Paul Holes he's really good. Well, they both are, I think. They're compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul Holes wanted to help with the Delphi case. To my knowledge, he made at least 2 offers, and we know how that went. But so I had sent 2 episodes to Randy to look over, because one of the cases they were working on brought up, they happened to see this girl, and they call her the Serpent Girl, Randy, or the tattooed.
I think both of them. I think the tattoo is more closer to what they're talking about. Hi, Incognito.
Hi, Incognito. Thanks for coming. Yeah, and they call her that because of this tattoo she has.
Mm-hmm.
But in this video, the girl really, really looks like Karina.
Yeah, the photo, I know when they came out with it, it was down in Florida when they saying, well, it could look like her, but it turned out to be not her at that time when police was looking up the case.
Well, were they positive though?
They didn't know, but people up here were looking at those photos down there at her and her height and what Karina looked like at the time when she disappeared.
It was the tattoo that kind of, because the family said she didn't have that tattoo, but like they said, if she would have been taken and trafficked, they could have covered up her other tattoos with that tattoo.
Mm-hmm. Let me see here. I'm looking on here. I don't see any updates. Let me Karina's tattoo. Let me see here.
And they also said that because this girl had killed the Justin guy, right? And that's how they came across this girl who they thought maybe Karina.
There was an update on, let's see here, I'm seeing on February 23rd, a person wrote a letter missing Karina McClarkin 18. Karina was last seen wearing a black t-shirt, gray hoodie, ripped jeans, brown sandals, and the tattoo, she wears glasses, and the tattoo says RIP tattoo on her right forearm.
Yeah. And that was the other thing. It was her, somebody said it was the limp that she had in that video and the sandals.
Yeah, sandals, shorter length hair. But she was last seen intersection of Washington Street and Markland Avenue in Kokomo, Indiana on October 11th, 2016 at 10 p.m.
Hi, Debbie. Sharon, hi. Well, and the thing is, by the way, incognito, I'm looking forward to, I think you had a video you were going to, oh, that's tomorrow. But you have a couple videos that you just put out, and I haven't had a chance to watch those, but I'm going to, um, just so you know. But back to Karina. I'd like to get everyone's opinion, because as you know, I allow everybody's opinion here. Randy and I were talking the other night. I'm going to give mine, and then I'm going to have him give his. We've heard all kinds of different stories, especially from a particular person. I know a lot of people believe she's no longer with us.
Oh, yeah.
One particular story did catch my attention just because of some things, I personally 99.9% am sure of, but I'm not sure that I believe that. And that was that she was burned up in Cutler. But I just don't think she is deceased. I think that she was trafficked, and she's probably not in Indiana. She's probably been trafficked somewhere. Hopefully not out of the country. I do hope she can be found. And that's kind of what Paul Holes and Jennings was saying, that if that happened to be her in that video, she was probably made to kill that person. And so then the prosecutor would have some hard decisions to make. Now, even they said they're not 100% sure that's her in the video, although her hair matches up, the glasses matches up, the limp, the sandals. The tattoo does not, because the family said, she didn't. But like they said, that those tattoos could have been put on her. Hello, Edward. But if you've not seen those episodes, guys, it's the Murder Squad, Paul Holes and Billy Jennings. I can't remember what they're called. Al's. Well, if you go to their Facebook, I know you can find it that way. And I did put them both in my group on Facebook. I put them there today.
Hey, Mindy. Edward.
But that's hi, Mindy. So, that's just my opinion. I think she's been trafficked. I don't think she was killed. And because Gabe Ellis is in all of this, that's what he did. I know the rumors are that she was given a hot shot, and, but that's my opinion. Now I'm going to let Randy give his, and then we'll take off from there, guys.
Okay, well, what I learned from this case and people I talked to, that, of course, we know one who always been talking about the case, and he was the last one to kind of seen her before leaving that area from that gas station on the corner of Washington Street and Markland Avenue, that she was picked up by a young Manila lady driving a vehicle. He claims it was a truck or some type of vehicle like that. She was the last one seen. But according to
Chris. Sorry.
according oh that's right. According to what he said, that she kind of enticed Karina into the vehicle to do uh, some drugs at the time. But nothing happened after that. Nobody knows what happened, where the body was, and plus, well, I understand that her grandmother talked to um, Gabe um, in jail and asked him what happened that night, where she's at. Some story says that she died where he was going to do something, put her someplace, but she died in that truck or wherever that girl brought her to, Gabe's place. But the other stories I hear from other people that she was last seen at the hotel in Kokomo, where now it's closed, and she overdosed there. The dealer overdosed her at the hotel, and since they couldn't take her out through the regular part of the hotel because there's cameras, they didn't want to be suspicious. So the story goes she was dead, and she were put through the room's window to do something with her after that, and that's where it ended, disappeared, and nobody knew where she was. But her grandmother said she loved to go to the ravine, the reservoir over there, around Kokomo. So that she loved that. So nobody knows, besides that one time they saw that one girl in Florida to look exactly like that, because that was really big at that time. Of maybe they found her because the parents wanted to know if it was her or not. But rumors said that can't be, but who knows? Whatever happened to that lady, Florida has never, news report has never said anything whatever happened to her when they saw her at some hotel down there in Florida. So if she is somewhere out there alive and well, she might be still, they're trying to just figure out how to hide her so nobody would recognize her anyplace else. If so, where is she here in the United States?
Right. And that's what they do. They usually change their appearances. They keep them hidden. They'll move them around, from location to location. And yes, Mel, it was. It was. And I shared that in my group today. So for those that have not watched it, I love the Murder Squad. They're really good. Paul Holes and Billy Jennings are really good. And like I said, Paul Holes had offered to help with the Delphi case, but we know that didn't. Hello, Kay. How are you?
But when was she in Kokomo versus when she was in Florida? Well, at night, also the night that, what I understand, people were talking that she's supposed to had gone to one of those special places, counseling places down in Florida to help her situation. And that's where people are thinking, well, that's where she went. She got on the plane. Somebody's supposed to pick her up and take her to the airport to go to that special
rehab.
But it seems like she never got there. And if they ever call the family and say, hey, she never arrived, where'd she go? What happened to her? So, but it's still interesting.
What was I'm sorry. I was just going to say, to answer Incognito's, wasn't it 2016 that she came up missing?
She I can bring it up here. Hold on. Last time she It was October 11th, 2016, when she went missing. She was 18 at the time, so
McClurkin crime. McClurkin.
she's totally adult now. So in 2016, but it depends on what information, who's got the right information, knowing where she is. I know her grandmother is really upset that she's gone and she wants answers.
Yes,
And
her grandmother is extremely upset, and she was on the streets every day for I don't know how long with signs,
oh yeah,
begging because the police. I mean, just let's just face it, they were not doing anything about it. She was begging them. They weren't helping. Um,
well, one person said the cops are helping, but they were trying to keep it on their wraps. For some reason, they were keeping it on their wraps. But her grandmother asked me to do kind of a slideshow for her and her family, for her son. So I made a couple slideshows at the time when I did it. She asked me. So somewhere along the line, the police are trying to get somewhere, I guess, but trying to hide something first before telling anybody where it is. They know drugs were somewhere involved in this crime, but they just have to find the right person.
yeah, that's obvious that they were involved, but my personal opinion is the person's in jail. Jerry went to visit him more than once,
Yep,
right?
she did. Yep, she
Mhm.
begged her. She begged him to tell her the story. If he knew where she is, and tell her. Um, I know she told me a lot of different stories that she talked about, um, but she, I think she wants to really know where her body is. Just tell her where the body is, and that's, I think, morally to knowing that, okay, she is either still alive or if she's buried out there or whatever um, it is. But the only one way to cover up a murder would be um, you have her stories. They burn the bodies. They're things so nobody would never find the body. Um, and that's the only issue is somebody would have seen a fire or somewhere um, out there in the country or would see some type of uh, burning, but no reports.
Yeah. And, and this is like somewhat like the Delphi case, people probably know, but they're not going to talk out
Yep.
of fear. It's one of those don't touch cases. For some, uh, I mean, a lot of people, like a certain one thinks it's connected to the Delphi case. I never thought that um, myself, but
Well, some people say he was there doing something the night before the murders, but there's no linking him to um, day of the murder or no evidence proving he was there that day.
yeah, right. So, tip from jail inmate didn't turn anything up. True, Edward. So, what does everybody else think? Um, do
Yep.
we think she's gone? I mean, as in not alive, or she's trafficked? Um,
Well, since Indiana is the main traffic beltway from Chicago to the south, that's the only highway they would come through here to get girls. I know there was one report they found. I read one time there was this one guy who did take two women and came from Indiana, picked two women in Indiana, and they moved to Ohio, then down Kentucky, and then back up. So yeah, this is a beltway for drugs through I-65, the beltway for trafficking children around here from Chicago to the south. So they know they're pretty much easy with all the truck stops are closer here on I-65 more than anything else.
So Mel and Nick thinks they killed her. And I mean, it's very, very possible.
Especially there's no bodies. They haven't found no body either. So burn her to death, that would be the only possible. That nobody would be able to find the body.
Right.
Figure out where the body was burned at. And that's
Ohio thinks they killed her. Motive, no clue. Well, I would guess if they did, the motive would be she knew a lot, and she probably did, and maybe they thought she was gonna talk or something.
Well, that's probably what happens. Either she knew something, and if she's supposed to gone to that drug treatment down in Florida and knowing, hey, she's going to do something down there and spill some type of evidence they did, being close to what their drug dealers and what else she knew, possible who might have. One story says her that she was with them here in Delphi one time with Gabe, and with a group of people, but something maybe happened that night, and that's maybe possible why he killed her. But I wish there's something more evidence that they can maybe give out to let people know this is what we have so far. It might help with the case of Karina to find where she is and who's the killer and what's the reason behind the killing.
Yeah. Kay says, and this is a good question, what does the grandmother think happened? I would trust her instinct. Does Jerry think she's out there somewhere, or when
I know she last I haven't talked to her or said did anything with her, but
I haven't lately myself either.
I think she believes she's alive, and she keeps her hopes up knowing that she is alive somewhere out there. She doesn't want to think that she's dead out there somewhere, or being mistreated somehow out there somewhere, that the body will show up and they're not going to get any evidence from wherever she died at. But I think her grandmother knows that she keeps her hopes alive, and I know her son does too, the same ways. And her brothers and sisters that wants to know where she's at. Is she alive? Somebody give them the answers to the missing clue of her. I had one time somebody send me a photo of her could be in Steak and Shake one time, saying this one like girl came in and looked exactly like Karina, and I compared to her photos and in her, and it didn't look like her, and that's the problem. Everybody is kind of like a person that you're looking. It's a ghost, but it's not the right person. There's several people out there that could look like that person, but the tattoo will be the only one to give her the real truth of where the right person is out there.
Yeah. Well, thanks for stopping by, Incognito, and same to you. I see you doing different cases, and that's awesome. And of course, that's what I want to do too. There's so many out there. Right now, I'm really trying to focus on the Nicole Bowen and Ray Hanish case with Garrett Kurtz, because Ray Hanish, he really needs some kind of justice. There's just nothing out there. Nobody speaking up for him. Dave Bangert's the only one that has made anything public about it. So, but you do a great job too with your different, cases as well. I did watch, I can't remember the name of it, but the one with the girl that was missing. It had to do with the laundromat, and it just made me sad and think about how many,
Yeah.
women and children and, well, men too. So thank you very much for stopping by. It is confirmed that Michael was the last one to see her alive. Why was he giving her a ride again?
Well, he was. Now, Michael was supposed to walk with her. He asked Karina that she wanted to go back home. She wants somebody to walk with him. And he told her he would walk with her back home, but that girl showed up in the truck and somehow coaxed her into the truck, either to have her do something last time, do a party with her of that night before she left. But according to what Mike said, he warned her not to go with her, with that girl in that truck. He knew who that girl was, but the police are kind of like didn't believe his story. So that's the only one thing. But you would think, if on that particular night, you would think the gas station's got cameras. Any other business on that corner would have cameras, knowing what kind of vehicle, who the person she talked to that night, and that's in that vehicle truck. And that's the only thing they can go on. They didn't. If Mike got the plate of that truck or vehicle, it might be totally different. Why did you take Karina? Where did you go? And it might want to help more clues to find that vehicle, search that truck. Fingerprints, who else was all in that truck once they found that vehicle when Karina was in, before she died. So that's the only. Mike is the only last person, and he was on his bike, and nobody knows after that.
And, I don't take this the wrong way, anybody, please. I don't want to talk down on him, because I'm not. But I think some of his stories are very wild. At the same time, I think some of his stories do have a little truth to them. At the same time, I can't believe he is still walking and alive. But I want to get to Otto's question. He asked uh, if a girl is trafficked, do they ever survive? Any studies on that subject? And Otto, Mel said, uh, you can find human trafficking statistics online. Most are not found.
Yeah.
And that's true. However, I have seen some survivor stories. So, yes and no, Otto. Some do survive, but many never get out of that situation.
No.
Because there's such big groups and so many people controlling them, and so many, like I said earlier, locations that it can almost happen right before people's eyes and they not even know it. It's very, very sad. It's sick, it's disgusting, and it's very scary to even think about. Michael was I think he was just I don't know if he was really anything to her. What was he to her, Brandy?
No, I think he showed up that night. Wherever he was coming from, he was riding his bike. According to what he told me one time typing, that he saw her standing by herself, and he said, "Well, why would she be standing by herself and nobody's around?" And start talking to Karina out of nowhere. And I guess that's what Karina said. Well, she wanted to go home, but she wanted somebody to walk with her, and he was agreeing he would walk with her to back home. And before this girl who showed up in the truck vehicle. So, but it was too late, and she hopped in and disappeared. So the rest of the stories that we heard all this time, Mike explained that he followed the girl, knew exactly where she lived and where Gabe was. So he was kind of like following different places and trying to get clues, I guess, to help the police. Saying, this is what I saw. I know exactly who it was. He was kind of like asking the police, ask her. She knows. And saying that she would lie because she's into drugs. And just, it said that whoever it is, if that girl knew it, that girl will be the second last person to know what happened to her, because she's the one who took her to whoever drug party or wherever it was, but that would be the second person last seen alive. Yeah, I know there's a lot of other stories. I found this one story. I know at the time here in Illinois, there was Illinois found a body. Remember in Kankakee River in Wilmington, Illinois, they found a body. Thought it might be uh, Karina, but found out it wasn't her at once they figured that one out too. So there was hoping they found her at the time, but it has not happened anything in the news about a new body showing up or um, where to find her. She could be like she could have been uh, put in the bottom of the lake where somewhere. That's what I would thought. Okay, if she likes the reservoir, that's what her grandma said. She liked the reservoir. She could have been dumped in the reservoir somehow, weighed her down, but she would. Um, her body would have been floating up somewhere to the top once it got bloated. Once your body gets bloated, it come up. But between Mike and that girl who last took her, would be the only two people would know where they were.
Let's see what we're gonna. So Mel wanted to know if there was any witnesses to that claim of Michael, and Sabrina wanted to know if they questioned that person, the driver.
I don't know if they questioned that girl at all, but if there was a video camera there watching where Mike walked up to her, and if they took Mike's word on it, we don't know. I honestly don't know if they believe her story. A lot of times they try to lie to save their butts at the end, saying they don't know anything. But honestly, I don't know if who they talked to and what they found out. So they're trying to pretty much keep everything under wraps. And one gentleman, he said to me, they're working on it, but they're trying to find a lead at that time. But I couldn't tell you if they did or not.
Welcome, Green Tea.
Hey, Green Cream.
I don't know who Green Tea is, but
I don't know either.
They just popped in. They said the police messed up this case. I agree on that. I forget what I was going to say. Doggone it. I'm going to get my drink real quick, though. You guys go ahead and talk. I put it in the freezer.
Oh, okay.
Well, hi, Oliver. You're not. I thought you went out with Daddy.
Let me see here. What else do you guys want to know?
Hot in here. I was freezing earlier. Now I'm hot. Oh, I know. I'm not going to mention the person. Cheyenne, not Cheyenne from the Delphi case, but the other Cheyenne. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what her name is. She supposedly knew a lot about this case, or she claimed to.
It's not very deep.
It's too bad we're not still working together. If I could have him refresh my memory right now.
All right, let's see what else.
The Kokomo Reservoir is not very deep on average, and it is continuously fished. She probably would have been found by now. Well, I remember there was some place, my friend Jenica, she has a huge heart of gold. I remember when this, broke out, and like the first year, they were doing searches on their own, not the police. The police wasn't doing it, and the police wouldn't even come out and help. It was, just like uh, personal volunteers. And I can't remember what pond they went, but there was a tip, obviously, probably false or whatever because it turned up nothing. But yeah, Jenica rounded up a bunch of people and they went out there and searched. They were out there all day long.
Especially went out to that where that bog was that they needed divers. That one part. I can't think what was that.
But they asked the police for help, and
Yeah, they asked for divers for this one part because this guy who owns this land has some type of pond or something, but you would got like if we walked into it, we would have got stuck or something. But if the divers would know how to search that little pond, but there's a lot of ponds and a lot of local lakes around there that could be. Her family looked in ditches, walked the highways, um, to see if they can find any type of evidence, see if she was there. Since they were looking everywhere, but they were upset that um, police wasn't giving any hints of what they are doing to if they found any clues to why this person why she went missing. Garrett Kurtz.
Edward wanted to know if Garrett Kurtz was in that circle. I said I didn't think so, but I am not 100. Then he said, "Oh." Then Chris said the person in the truck may not even be involved. I said, "Could be."
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I
But
mean, it's possible the driver didn't know what was going on or where they were. I mean, 'cause if Michael's story is true and
he
she went with this person, we don't know what happened after that, where that person took her, and then who took her from there and what they did. They may not. Okay, crime.
well, like I said, I had another person who was telling me that they heard the last place was that hotel, um, where presuming that she overdosed, they gave her enough cocktail to overdose her and killed her. Um, and they got rid of the body after that when she was dead, and they didn't want nobody to know it was them. But you would think that hotel management, if they were making noise in one of their hotel rooms, and somebody next door to them heard a loud noise, whatever, you would think somebody would have reported that something was going on outside of that hotel, because they would have had cameras. There were business across the street next to uh, the hotel. They would saw a car or whatever they were doing uh, leaving the parking lot.
Yeah.
So I think the police still. Well, Chris, I think, like I said, there was one person who told me the police are on the case. That was a long time ago. But
Oh yeah, this is. Tell me your opinion on this, guys. If this is what I think you're getting ready to say, Randy.
Okay. Because at the time, I know somebody told me the police were supposed to be doing this, and the guy said they're on getting close, but he said don't worry about it. It's like okay, but they're police supposed to be doing something, so it's supposed to be hush hush, or they're watching. If they let Gabe out of the, I think if they let somebody out of the, say Gabe out of the hotel, out of the jail, and they could have been watching him to see what kind of moves he would have done to maybe lean towards where possible the body is, knowing get some answers um, from him finally. But it almost has to be um, they would have to follow somebody to get to where Karina is. Um, if you would like to do a write up, huh? Rainy, if you would like to do a write up, I would like to read it on my podcast. Oh, okay.
That's awesome because I was going to suggest that anyways. I was going to suggest Randy from here take it to his channel. I think it'd give you views, Randy. And then, like, if Mel does podcasts on the day she does the podcast, then you could follow it up on your channel, like I do with Ray.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say to what you just said is, see, when Randy told me about that, I took it as they were telling him that, as so he would just hush, like, we got it, we're doing this, so he would just stop talking about it. That was just my take on it, but that's my criminal mind.
Well, sometimes that's what they want. If all these people who send like things to different people on YouTube and say, "Hey, I know who did it," or claim who did it, but if the police already knew about it and they didn't really want that information out there, and that would give away the real person who did it and who knows these other people who are involved with.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's what happened, and
that's awesome, Mel. That's really awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's and I don't want to, I'm not trying to bash on cops or anything, but it appeared to me in this case that they just, and Jerry felt that way. I know a lot of good cops. I do. I know a lot of good cops. I know what they do every day. They put that suit on, they leave, they say goodbye to their families, they don't know if they're coming home.
Yeah.
But then there's others that they put that suit on and that badge, and and they're just not doing what they took that oath to do. And yeah, I've got to look into that, Nick. I do. There's so much stuff I've got to look into. My little old pea brain. I don't know how you guys all do it, how you guys all stay on top of all these different cases.
Like all of us, we're just bored, all right?
I get bored too, but like I said, it seems like I've been busier with the stay-at-home order. Speaking of, sounds like our governor's going to open up tomorrow.
Yeah.
In stages. I don't know what that means. I think he's done a great job handling this, but I think if if those malls open up, I think that's a big mistake.
Well,
not to get off topic, but
I think he's going to only allow so many people in the mall. If he does that it work. I think it worked well fine. If they keep people at all these different mall entrances and count how many people went into that store, and just notify people who was inside the mall count, and just keep those people waiting outside, or until another person leaves. Basically, that's what Walmart doing. Places at Walmart's I went, they count how many people. I know in LaPorte, Indiana, they count how many people come out, and then they let that many people go in to the store. So basically, if they did that, is let say maybe 35 people in the mall and wait to so many people leave and let the next group of people go in, and do that alternate, and basically do the same thing in the stores wherever they go. Make sure there's maybe 10 people in the store at the mall, if they're going to shop anything in the mall. But the question is, how many stores will open?
Yeah.
After this deal, they won't. I know there won't be too many stores open because they lost a lot of income, and I always wondered, will they ever open after this?
I agree, Mel. Mel said up there, send me a write-up and I will read it and give you the credit on her podcast, Randy.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I wonder if you'll be able to use cash. Uh, Cash on where? Um, but um, but if they do what they're supposed to be doing, um, like they said, they either check people before they get into the mall, check their temperatures. If they got a temperature, um, then they won't uh, let them in. Um, that would be the only reason to not. If they have a temperature, they wouldn't be able to go in at all.
Oh, Jess, I think it very much does. Because there are some, I mean, I've seen true documentaries where there are females that head this trafficking up too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, they're like, under and they help recruit. They'll be the ones that go out and, um, so I think that if they were to legalize that, which it's not legal here,
Yeah.
Oh, that would spike it big time.
Well, the other thing, if we make appointments, um, that might help that situation too. If they open some of these stores and make appointments to go in, um, that might keep the virus not spreading too much.
Yeah, sex trafficking is a very sad, sad thing. And I mean, it happens everywhere. I mean, places people wouldn't think it happens. You getting tired, Randy?
Yeah, I'm getting
You're
tired.
usually most in bed by now, aren't you?
Yeah, since I take some medicine that makes me sleepy.
I do too. Usually by the time Jess comes on, I've taken mine. I fall asleep
Yeah.
almost every time on her video.
Still, um, yeah. But
Yep, everywhere. Well, guys, I'm glad that we were able to do this. I was really scared that I was not going to be able to because I was not feeling. This morning I was like, oh no, I cannot be sick. We've got the grandkids coming tomorrow. And then they had their day mixed up. They're calling me today, throwing fits, like, where are you? Why aren't you picking us? And I'm like, because tomorrow. You said your mom said Friday. And throwing fit. Then they're calling their mom and throwing a fit with her. So then she texts me and she's like, uh, they want to know if you'll pick them up today. And I understand if you've got plans. And I'm like, I would, but I'm not feeling the greatest. So, yeah, Prime, I fall asleep on the keyboard. Thanks, Jess. Well, I think we're going to sign off. Randy's tired and he's usually in bed by now, but I'm glad we were able to make it. And I want to thank all of you for coming and joining in, giving your opinions. And yeah, I hope Randy will carry over this on his. And I think that's a great idea for Mel to do that, Randy. So she's a great, I'm telling you what, man, her podcast. I mean, she sounds like a real professional. I mean, like she's been doing it forever.
Cool.
So, all right, guys. Now I will not be on the weekend because I'll have my little hoodlums here, and and they don't want to stay out of the way of my camera.
Yep.
So I might be back Sunday, but I will be back Monday for sure. But I might see you around on other channels once I get them to bed and stuff. So, okay, Otto, I'll get right to that. But you all have a good night. Thank you for coming, and I love you all. God bless.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, Randy, for coming on, buddy.
You too. Bye bye.
Okay. Goodbye, all.